What's up, subscribers, and welcome to my channel again. Today I'm going to show you two of my projects that I have done for artistic creation and research workshop subject that I have for my university. The first one is based in classical techniques, and I chose to do it about geometry. In order to do this first part of the project, I decided to dedicate it to a thing that I really like, which is animal. So this is the final result. Well, as you can see, it is a bull, which has been done with geometrical figures, mixing regulars such as that triangle and the major part of them, which are non-regulars. But why do I have chosen that animal? Well, simply because it is one of the main representative animals of our country, Spain. Also, it is one of my favorite animals because, under my point of view, it represents the brave and the strength. But the most important thing is that I have really good memories about that animal. When I was a child, my grandfather was learning, but just as a hobby, nothing serious, and with small bulls, to how to be a bullfighter. So I always liked to see how he was doing that. At the moment of doing the drawing, I had to think the perspective and the position from we are going to see the bull. And when I did it the first time, I draw it in profile. However, when I see the result, I didn't like it too much just because it was too simple. So I decided to do it again since a more complicated perspective. So I decided to do it in 3D. Well, I thought that would impress more my teacher. In order to get a good 3D perspective, I didn't do the drawing with just one geometrical figure because it was going to be really difficult to get that impression. So I decided to do it with a huge amount of geometrical figures, and the major of them wasn't regular. In order to obtain the final drawing, first of all, I started drawing the bull head. And once I got it, I drew according to its proportion and dimensions just the contour lines of the body and legs. After a huge amount of time, I did the 3D perspective. And I started to draw the different geometrical figures that composes the bull. In other words, I firstly drew the bull in a normal way, starting with the head. Later, I gave it depth to achieve 3D dimension. And lastly, I drew the geometrical figure. According to the techniques, I used a pencil to do the first drawings. Once I got the desirable result, I redraw it with profilers, the contour lines, just because I like the effect it produced. And lastly, I colored the bull with markers, mainly because I did not have much choice where to go. And sadly, the major part of my markers were finished, so I decided to use those markers that still work and color the bull using all of them, giving to the bull a different perspective of it. To conclude, as I said before, I used all the markers in order to color the bull, in order to give to it a different perspective. Just because normally a bull is seen as an angry and serious animal. So coloring it multicolor would give a different perspective and opinion about it. Because not only can you see it with other perfections, but our feelings about it varies also. According to the second project that I have done, it is based in modern techniques, specifically about stereotypes. Since the moment that I saw that working with stereotypes was an option, I was 100% sure that I was going to work about that. Not only is it an interesting field, but it is also present in every situation nowadays. After thinking a lot, I decided to work with stop motion, mainly because it is an unusual technique and it is always fun to see. And it also represents very well the modern techniques. When I had to decide to which stereotype to talk about, firstly I think about feminism, but I thought that it is really common, so I finally decided to talk about stereotypes in social media. Doing a stop motion is not as easy as it seems to be. So firstly, before to start doing it, I had to look a huge amount of information in order to do it in a properly way. Moreover, I had to look the way in which I was going to talk about stereotypes in social media in a really short term, because I didn't want to do a really long video. I wanted a video more or less of 30-40 seconds. Also, it is necessary to add that I did it in Spanish because I'm a completely disaster. So now it's really late to change it again, everything. So I'm sorry for that. I'm really sorry. In order to fit the video with the length that I wanted, 30-40 seconds, firstly I recorded my voice saying the things that I wanted to include in that video, and once I had it, I did the stop motion and the drawings according to it. The main message that I wanted to transmit with that video is that not because having a huge amount of followers in social media you are going to be a better person than other, or you are not going to be always happy because of that, because when serious problems arrive to your life, those followers are not going to be there to help you. So real friends is the main thing and the most important thing. So if you have that kind of friend, that real friends, you can consider yourself a lucky and fortunate person. Once I have that message recorded, I had to do every single drone little by little in order to take pictures of them, and the stop motion final result would be fluid. According to the material used, it is necessary just a whiteboard like that, the 3 markers that I have used to draw in it, and the app of the mobile phone called Stop Motion. On the one hand, doing this second project have been really much more difficult than the first one, but such a certain extent that was what I wanted to represent, that the modern techniques are normally more complex than the classical ones. Also, I have to add that I really enjoyed doing this stop motion, just because doing that I had the opportunity to express my opinion about one issue that are stereotypes in social media, because it is an opinion that I had for years and I never had the opportunity to share to everyone. And to finish off, this project has demonstrated me that I shouldn't be afraid of doing and learning new things, such as, for example, in this case, stop motion, because it is the way of process, observing, learning, and applying what you have learned. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Bye bye!